Hello, my name is Mark Momsilovich and I am an occupational safety specialist here at the University of Utah. This video is designed to help supervisors understand their role in the hazard communication training. The Occupational Health and Safety Administration, OSHA, has a hazard communication standard that requires employees to be informed of the hazardous chemicals used in our workplace, how to identify hazardous chemicals, the appropriate protection measures, and where and how to obtain additional information. We will discuss the following topics that employees shall be informed of: any operation in their work area where hazardous chemicals are present, the location, availability of the written hazard communication program, including required list of hazardous chemicals and safety data sheets required by this section. Employees' training shall include at least the following: methods and observations that may be used to detect the presence or release of hazardous chemicals in the work area, such as monitoring conducted by the employer, continuous monitoring devices, visual appearance or odor of hazardous chemicals when they are released. The physical health, simple asphyxiation, combustible dust, and pyrofluoric gas hazards, as well as hazards that are otherwise classified of the chemicals in the work area. The measures employees can take to protect themselves from these hazards, including specific procedures the employer has implemented to protect employees from exposure to hazardous chemicals, such as appropriate work practices, emergency preparedness, and the personal protective equipment that is to be used. The details of the hazard communication program developed by the employer include the explanation of the labels on the shipping containers, as well as the workplace labeling system used by the employer. The safety data sheet, including the order of information and how employees can obtain and use the proper hazard information. Employees should be informed of the methods and observations they should use to detect the presence and release of hazardous chemicals in the work area. This includes, but is not limited to, continuous monitoring devices such as gas meters, visual appearance of a spill or gas release, and the odor of the hazardous chemical that is released. All employees must be made aware of the measures they can take to protect themselves from a chemical hazard. Employers can protect themselves from chemical hazards by knowing the hazard that they work with, using the smallest amount of chemical to do the job, maintaining machinery and equipment to prevent leaks and releases. Also include appropriate work practices such as using available ventilation to reduce the amount of chemicals in the air, keeping lids, doors, and covers closed on chemical processes and containers, and wearing the necessary personal protective equipment, also known as PPE. Employees must also be informed what to do and who to contact if there's a spill or release of hazardous chemicals. That information can be found here on the new 2015-2016 Emergency Preparedness Guide at flip chart here at the U. The last tab is for chemical, biological, and rad spills. If you go to this tab, it shows what to do in the event of a minor or major chemical spill. In the event of a minor chemical spill, you want to alert people in the immediate area, deny entry to that area, avoid vapors, wear the appropriate protective equipment, use appropriate spill kit to properly clean up a spill, and if necessary, contact EHS for guidance. Place cleanup materials in an appropriate container and submit an EHS pickup request. For a major chemical spill, you want to attend to the injured personnel and remove them from the area, alert people in the area to evacuate, immediately contact EHS at 801-581-6590, or after hours, contact the University Police at 801-585-2677. Close doors and deny entry to the affected area or areas, and have personnel knowledgeable of the incident meet emergency responders when they arrive on scene. If you need more of these flip charts or do not have the current one, please contact the Environmental Health and Safety Department, and we will either deliver them or you can come pick them up at our office. We must familiarize employees with product labels and safety data sheets. Employees should know how to read the product labels. The new product design under the GHS requirement must include a name and product identifier, a signal word, either danger or warning, a hazard statement, one or more pictograms, a precautionary statement, and the name, address, and telephone number of the chemical manufacturer, importer, or responsible party. For that, we have a chemical that is used here at the U called Showers and Stuff as an acidic detergent. On the back side, the chemical label shows exactly what we just went over. The signal word for this chemical is danger. It has a pictogram showing that it is a corrosive. It has first aid measures as well as the name, address, and telephone number of the chemical manufacturer. Employees must be able to know where to locate safety data sheets, the location of the SDS book, and how they can find safety data sheets online. Employees shall be trained on what information is contained on the SDS and how to properly read them. For example, we have the SDS binder that is inside of our building. Inside of it, it has the written hazard communication program for custodial services, as well as a product list of all the chemicals that are used in the building and all the SDS sheets for those chemicals. Here's an example of a safety data sheet for the chemical that we just went over. The safety data sheets all have 16 headings. Those headings go in the following order. Number 1 is identification. 2 is hazard identification. 3, composition and information on ingredients. 4, first aid measures. 5, firefighting measures. 6, accidental release. 7, handling and storage. 8, exposure controls and personal protection. 9, physical and chemical properties. 10, stability and reactivity. 11, toxicological information. 12, ecological information. 13, disposal considerations. 14, transportation information. 15 is the regulatory information, and 16 is any other information that is pertinent to that chemical. There are resources available to help you with the HazardCom standard and training. Online, we'll be posting a roster for supervision to use and have their employees sign in when they have to show that they have conducted the HazCom training and that everyone has attended. Also, if you have any questions, you can contact the University of Utah Environmental Health and Safety Department at 801-581-6590. Also, as always, is OSHA.gov. In closing, let's review what HazCom is and what it means to you. If you are a supervisor here, you are ensuring the health and safety of all employees you oversee here at the U. One of the areas of responsibility in that regard involves chemical safety. It is your responsibility to know what chemicals your team work with, ensure that all those chemicals are properly stored, labeled, and used, and that all employees are trained to recognize the hazards as well as know how to respond in an emergency situation, as such for an exposure or a spill. EHS has resources available to help you accomplish all this. Once again, my name is Mark Omsovich, and I'm an Environmental Health and Safety Specialist here at the University of Utah. If I can be any of assistance to you, please do not hesitate to call at 801-581-6590 or email at questions@ehs.utah.edu. Thank you and have a safe day.